back to Hoof Beats. Next opponent up for Murray State is the Golden Eagles of Tennessee Tech. Of course, last season they weren't much of a problem. Murray State, I think, handed them a 70-35
burger
shellacking. Thoughts this year, JT? What are some key matchups we need to be looking for?
Steve, one matchup that really intrigues me is they have a redshirt freshman at left tackle, and that's protecting the blind side. And Matt Martin versus our 3-4 pass defense, it's going to be interesting. And the reason I say that, our rover, Travis Taylor, regardless if he goes out on the slot receiver or comes in for the pass rush, I'm really not sure how well Matt Martin's going to hold up against any of our pass rushers. And another thing is Darian Stone, their quarterback, he's a run-first quarterback. And we haven't seen a quarterback like him yet besides Jamal Franklin, rather. But Jamal Franklin, I mean, that was just a money game like we've always stated. And I'm really worried about their quarterback play.
Yeah, you're right the first time, James Franklin. But
James Franklin? Okay. I couldn't remember.
You were talking about Darian Stone. He's the starter right now. As far as we know.
Yeah, because we've seen he threw the game-winning touchdown last week against
Jared Davis. Jared Davis threw the game-winning touchdown
against Indiana State.
And he's the freshman quarterback. So you got Jared Davis who's throwing the game-winning touchdown passes, which makes me think, should Murray State be preparing for Jared Davis? Or should they be preparing for Darian Stone? Are they going to throw both in there?
This could throw us for a loop because a dual quarterback system, it's hard to game plan for. And that's the thing. There's a turnover battle that's going to be coming up. Murray State has 12. Tennessee Tech has 10.
Yeah.
And it's been turnovers for us, which has saved 2 games for us, Missouri State and Jacksonville State. And I think this game's going to come down to turnovers.
Yeah, and it might. We just talked about that earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to TTU's last game. That was against Indiana State. And we had an exciting win. They had an exciting win as well. As we talked about Jared Davis throwing that game-winning touchdown pass with 90 seconds left to play in the game. But we look at some of the things that they struggled with. They're like Murray State. They score a lot of points, but their total yards isn't really that high. They had 264 total yards of offense.
But like I've been stating, the turnover game, you can turn over the ball and get a short field. And you ain't gonna possess the ball as well.
Exactly. And that's what happens, right?
But yeah, that's the thing. Like when we play EIU, that's what I'm worried about. We've got to keep Garoppolo off the field.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll keep Tennessee Tech off the field because I think this is a very winnable game for Murray State.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a winnable game.
At home, coming off a big win, you hope there's not that letdown off of a big win like it was against Jacksonville State, an emotional win. You hope there's not a letdown in the team. But as I see it, and as I always say, they can't look past this game. But as fans, we can, and we've been talking about EIU, and every game leading up to that, I believe, is a winnable game.
Oh, yeah, of course. I really think going into the EIU game, we're going to be how many games we got to? Is it going to be 6-2? Or 7-2? I can't remember exactly. It's one of the two numbers.
7-2, yes.
Is it 7-2?
Yes.
And that's, like we've stated, the bids. We're going to have to play for a at-large bid.
It looks that way. EIU looks pretty tough. But focusing on Tennessee Tech, what are your predictions going into Saturday's game?
I think Walter Powell is going to steal the show again. I really do. I do not think their kickoff coverage or their punting coverage is ready for what Walter Powell brings to the table. And their 2 corners, they seem to have a corner that plays the wide side of the field and a corner that plays the short side of the field. And if they're not going to match up the best corner against Walter Powell, it's going to be a long day for him. And I really think we're going to win 54-21.
Wow, 54-21. So we just keep on beating down Tennessee Tech. I feel bad for them.
51 burger.
There we go. Now, Walter Powell, after having a 5-touchdown game against Missouri State, has only scored 1 touchdown in the last 2 games. Of course, Bowling Green is a tough team.
Bowling Green's a different monster. FBS.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like we were riding high against Missouri, so you can give them the Bowling Green.
And then Jacksonville State, they kind of kept him in check a little bit. He
had a touchdown.
He did have a touchdown.
They're kicking away from him.
They're not letting him return punts.
Yep.
It's got to be frustrating for Walter Powell.
Of course.
But I agree. I think this is a game where Walter Powell gets back and is scoring touchdowns again, and Murray State wins. Now, I know we had this discussion, but I'm giving Tennessee Tech a little bit more points. Because I still, even with
turnover, Steve, we've argued about this all show.
Do it again. Do it one more time. Do it one more time, Murray State defense, and I will believe this guy. Just do it one more time.
+5 on the season.
Just do it one more time. But
come on.
I'm taking Murray State. I'm still taking Murray State. They're going to outscore them again. We got to outscore our opponents, and we're going to do it again. 49-35. Murray State wins, and we continue undefeated so far in the
You're not going to give our offense the 50 burger?
49. We're gonna go for 49. That's so close.
Sell out.
We'll go for 2 on the last touchdown. We'll get to 50. How about that?
What?
It'd be weird, but maybe we'll do it.
Okay, just
all right. All right. That's all the time we got this week for Hoof Beats. See you next week, and hopefully see you out there at Roy Stewart Stadium, 3 o'clock against Tennessee Tech. Thanks for watching. welcome back to Hoof Beats. Murray State, coming off a bye week, will play UT Martin this Saturday. Tomorrow, Murray State coming in at 5-3, 3-1 in conference, where UTM also coming at 5-3, but 3-2 in conference, coming off a win against Austin Peay. They won 38-14. And for the first time all season, our arch rivals down the road in Clarksville scored more than one touchdown in a game. Guys, what are your thoughts, though, on UT Martin?
My thoughts on UT Martin is with the injury to Dylan Favre, I really don't know how they're going to produce offense with Jared Neal only having 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions this year. That is not a good stat to have. And as far as looking towards, they do have a strong running attack, though, as far as that. And DJ McNeil has 888 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season, averaging 5 yards a carry. And that doesn't bode well for us, considering we are kind of not too good in the middle of the field, and we get gashed a lot. Jamal?
Well, I'm going to elaborate on what you said. And first off, like, we both had bye weeks since they played Austin Peay. That I consider that a bye week. But what I was going to say is the key that we need to do, we need to stop them on first and second down. If we can get them in third and long situations, I think we'll do very good, because they're going to try to ground and pound. They're going to try to keep us off the field, kind of like Denver Broncos, just keep us off the field, because our offense is explosive. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to elaborate on something, though, about our offense a little bit. And Jamal had touched on it a little bit. And that's without Dwayne Brady, we've been kind of like stagnant on offense a little bit, because I do believe we could have possibly scored 52 points on Austin Peay easy. And I do believe that the bye week came just at the right time.
Yeah, I agree. I think 31, is a good number, but it's kind of disappointing considering the opponent. Now, you touched on it a little bit, but I think it's important we talk about the UT Martin quarterback situation. That's going to play a huge role. Like you mentioned, Jared Neal, he threw 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against Austin Peay, 293 yards through the air, but like you said, they're going to miss Favre. Now, this is a team that kind of went back and forth on who their starter was going to be. So it could have been that Neal was going to be the starter all along, but it kind of just fell back into Favre by the beginning of the season. So what are your thoughts on the quarterback situation?
One of my key thoughts on the quarterback situation is we have a very opportunistic defense. And as far as that goes, we are second in the OVC in takeaways. And that's huge for anything. I mean, like we've talked about many times on the show, is we have a bend but don't break defense. And I do believe that Neal is going to turn the ball over to us. We are very, very opportunistic, and I do believe that as far as our defense and the quarterback situation goes, I do believe it's going to be a rough day for Neal.
Regardless of who the quarterback is, I see that we're going to be extremely aggressive. I mean, like, we're well rested, and regardless, like, we know we got to attack. I mean, regardless of who the quarterback is, we got to attack the running game first off, and if they get third and long, we're going to take some chances, and I think our outlook looks pretty good, though.
Now, this is a big game for both teams. No more games for Murray State against teams that are below the halfway point for the OVC standing. So all these teams are going to be tough, starting with the game tomorrow at 1 o'clock at UTM. Score predictions, JT, we'll start with you.
One thing I'm going to say is the Murray State Racers do have their backs against the wall right now. They are 4th right now in the OVC, and I'm really worried about them. But big things are ahead for the Murray State Racers. I did hear it is Skyhawk season in Tennessee, and I do believe the Murray State Racers are going to win 35-27. Let's go Racers.
Yeah, Lee Corso Jr. over here. How can I compare to that? But what I was going to say is I do believe Murray State is going to win, and I believe for us to beat UTM, we need to go to the ATM and withdraw 30 like we've done in every game in the conference. Every game in the conference we scored 30 points. They're going to try to keep us off the field, but with them takeaways, I think we're going to be on the field a lot more than they think. I say 31-20.
Now, I believe UT Martin has not scored more than 30 points in any conference games this season. So, yeah, the magic number is 30. If you can get to 30, and so I'm taking Murray State 31-27, ironically. So 31-27 Murray State, and that'll be a huge win going into the rest of the season. And that would put Murray State at the 4-1 in conference right there, only 1 game back of Eastern Illinois to win the OVC. Thank you for watching. That'll do it for this week for Hoof Beats. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see you next time.